enterprise architecture. Please welcome Tony.
Thank you. This has been one of those topics that's been fascinating for a long time. But a funny thing happened on my way to the forum. Let's try again. Friday, I was going through my LinkedIn article list, and I ran across a very fascinating article, Disruption versus Harvard. And what I want to take from that is a few of those lessons that we may want to apply to our own careers and lives and jobs. The article is by Jose Ferreira, something like that, and Disruptive Innovation versus Harvard, Who Will Win? And I've got a link there. First thing that he does is he goes and he pulls out the definition that Clayton Christensen gives to disruption. It's called disruptive innovation, a process by which a product or service takes root initially in sample applications at the bottom of the market and then relentlessly moves up and takes over. And one of the points that he makes is on his original website, Clayton Christensen's website, is that the new company coming in and doing the disrupting almost always wins. So if you're in that market that's being disrupted, you better take care. You better be aware. You better take care, because they are out to get you, and they will eat your lunch. And he has a few main, and then back to the article, we have a few main points. One of the first things that he makes is you have to acknowledge and admit that in the long run, a lot of our traditional universities might just be in trouble. Because if you look at the advent and how education itself is changing, there's all these online courses that are coming in and starting to take place. The enterprise architecture program through Penn State is done almost entirely online. We're not even, it's not even, we did have some lectures for a couple of the classes, but a lot of it was all online interaction. Nobody actually went and had to go in and do anything. All of our homework, those of us who remember old days, used to use a thing called a typewriter, and you type onto paper, and that's what you had to hand in to your professor, and that's what they come back and grade. And then I think they moved to word processors. People may remember a company called Wayne. Mm-hmm. They used to build a product that was a dedicated word processor. Well, they kind of got their butts handed to them by another company that came out with a couple other word things. There was WordStar, really old, and that started to take place. And then it was WordPerfect, which really took over. And it was great in the DOS world. It was probably the king of word processors. And then a little thing called Windows came along, disrupted it. And WordPerfect didn't respond, didn't get onto Windows fast enough. It was several years before they jumped on. And they got their butts handed to them when Microsoft Word came along. Word may be in danger of being displaced now by various forms. Well, you have Office 365 that's online, Google Docs, Mac, Apple has their own version. Things are changing. All things come to an end. We need to start measuring ourselves acknowledge and admit that your job is at risk. What you do may be at risk because somebody may be coming in to try and disrupt you. You need to start measuring. You need to start proactively defending your turf. Now, build up on your strengths. Strengthen what you're really good at. Focus on what you're really the best at. Get online. The slides got a little compressed because I had swapping between formats. The next statement here that you can't really see is that online software, or that you may have to consider becoming a disruptor yourself. Now, an article in Harvard Business Review recently said there's two roads to resistance. Any business model is upended. Two things. Focus on what you're doing best, do it really well, reposition that core, and finally, maybe you need to jump in and be the disruptor yourself. So this is what it's coming down to in this world. It's disrupt or be disrupted. The real estate market is changing. It's very possible that in the next few years, Brett's got an excellent new tool that's an innovation to help, but maybe people won't need realtors as much because they'll be able to do more things online. Look at what's been happening to various security things, how that's changing. There will be people who will have to work in the back office forever. Life is changing. It's disrupt or be disrupted. I wanted to close with a thought from the poem Invictus. It matters not how straight the gate, how charged with punishments the skull. I am the master of my fate. I am the captain of my soul. Whether you are disrupted or the disruptor, it's up to you.